We'll let you keep it.
Yeah, I want to.
If we can.
It's from the little darlings of the school. You know, they come back to school and they bring their jerseys.
Alright, it's 6:01, so we'll get started. And if anybody can't hear me, there's seats closer.
Oh, yes, there are.
All right, so we'll call the meeting to order, and if we would all stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we can start with, if you would, the approval of minutes and financials. We do have financials for August 2024. Any questions, corrections, anything that needs addressed there?
I've looked at Laura, I don't have any questions or.
No.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the August 2024 financials as written.
A second.
Yes?
Lauren? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. And then also, the cash journal for September 2024. Any comments, corrections, comments? This is just the forward one.
Yeah, that's the forward one.
So we'll just
She hits
have
all buttons, so that's not even complete.
Yeah.
She had to
Thank you
be-
for giving us a projection.
I am. I'm giving you an update before it's done.
Yeah, so that was just
We
hard.
pulled everybody, no, we pulled everybody else.
I got mine fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we have here, so.
Never mind. All right, moving on to the minutes for the trustee meeting July 8th. I've had a conversation with Tracy just a little bit ago. I thought that there were some things that should be added and she does not, so we'll have to do a little bit of investigating on that, but I don't want to make a motion to approve them as they are.
Okay, I would like to comment on that. These have been going on for 2 months, July 8th minutes. She spent hours upon hours making additions that you asked for. It needs to end. We called the prosecutor today. She's been in contact with the auditor of state. We are not doing verbatim minutes.
And that's
The
not what I'm
minutes are,
asking
the
for.
minutes are for business at the township, which is contracts we enter into, expenditures we agree to make.
But we're in these minutes, we are giving conversations, commentary on everything. But in a very important section was left out about conversations with the fire department, some very important conversations. So if we're going to do it that way, it needs to all be done that way because we
I have a
haven't.
solution for that too.
Okay,
She takes an audio recording of these every meeting.
okay.
We can immediately provide someone with a thumb drive of the meeting if they have any additional questions other than what's on this. The attorney said that is very legal to do it. The minutes do not have to be word for word.
And I'm not asking word for word, but we have conversations that have been
But
left
you've asked
out.
her 5 times and she
Three.
makes
This is
corrections
the third time.
and then you add more to it. It's got.
No, I've never added more to it. This is the third time I've asked about that. So I asked Tracy today why it was omitted, and she felt that it shouldn't be, that it's not necessary. And I'm not comfortable with that because we do have a unique situation here where we have a husband and wife both working for the township, and it looks as if there's a bias. So I just want to address that because I'm going to have to stand firm on this. I don't think it's right to exclude some really pertinent information and not others.
Based on my conversation with our attorney just today, he stated that you are wrong. Her minutes, the way she done them, are correct. Based on that, I'm going to make a motion that we accept the minutes from July 8th, and provided that anyone that would like additional information can request a thumb drive of the entire audio of the minutes. It doesn't all have to be written down. We have a legal recording of that on the audio. Anyone that wants additional to those minutes can get an audio of it, listen to it themselves. Based on that, I made the motion.
I'm going to vote no.
Is that the audio that is taken during the meeting? And is this from Prosecutor Brett's
Yes.
defense?
But I haven't had an opportunity to, because I honestly thought it was an error. And that's why I asked her today why they were being omitted. And there were some controversial conversations that were omitted. So I think that the
I wasn't
main,
changing it again. I'd already changed it, I don't know how many times. She waits till, she had these for 2 weeks,
this is
and
the
she waits.
third request that I've made for this
Yes,
particular
and it's
update.
over. I've already talked to them, and I've talked to
No,
my boss.
because I don't think it's,
So,
I don't think it's right, and I think they need to be consistent, and if we're gonna add conversations, they need to all be added, or they need to all be omitted. So I'm gonna vote no.
Can Mr. Bentz, Prosecutor Bentz, can he send us an email with a statement about it?
I'm sure we can.
Or we can speak with the auditor to find out the actual rules, but they should be consistent. If we're just talking about financials and motions, that's fine, but we shouldn't be choosing which conversations we add and which ones we don't. And Tracy did mention, if I can say this, that she wasn't aware of, that all of them didn't need to be added, and that was her mistake. If
I did say that, yes.
So, but we.
all the conversation and the drama doesn't need to be in there. Only thing that needs to be in the minutes is the money, your guys' motion, and if you carry over and anything like that. Scott hands me a piece of paper, that's what's going in here, not what she says that Derek said, because that's hearsay. I have no clue, it didn't come from Scott. So, and that is what I am told.
So I'm just not comfortable
And then
until
when
they're all.
they speak out there, I don't have to put their name in there.
And Mr. Benz said that anybody in the audience that just speaks up,
And I agree
we
with
do
that.
not have to put that in the
But
minutes.
you actually had a conversation with someone that was omitted, and
It wasn't me. I addressed that publicly. That is on the audio, 100% on the audio, which is a legal document of the minutes. I'm still making that
this
motion
isn't
that
something
we
I'm
accept
trying
the
to
minutes.
nitpick, but I think it needs to be accurate because we can get public requests for these, and whoever reads these should understand what happened at the meeting, whether it be a simple funds and motions or a more detailed commentary, but it needs to be consistent.
The
So-
more detailed commentary would be the thumb drive that we can provide.
But I'm going to say no unless we move to do that differently moving forward.
I'd like to see something from Prosecutor Bentz saying that that's how we were supposed to do it. So if that is how we were supposed to do it, and the prosecutor says that, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he said offering the thumb drive as addition to the minutes is more than acceptable.
So the thumb drive is public record?
Yes.
And can be sent out to
But in the
anybody
past,
who
this has
requests
been
it?
our legal minutes, so if we need to change that moving
Basically,
forward.
they're not your legal minutes. Basically, they're for the auditor of state. They're for me, so that I don't get in trouble.
Anyone who would like a copy of them. they
Okay,
can
and
provide.
you're more than welcome to make your own minutes to get them.
So-
But this is what they have. They don't have to read it. They can have the flash drive off this.
So I respectfully still not satisfied with that.
That's fine.
Okay. Barring, I would like to see something official from Attorney Bentz on that. If that is.
He's expecting a phone call from both of you,
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
yeah, okay. And if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is, I'm fine with that.
So we
So-
have a motion, so does the motion fall for lack of completion, or do we want to agree to table that? What would you like to do?
I would like to table it until I talk to Prosecutor Bentz, and I'll give him a call tomorrow.
All right. Moving on to the July 22nd meeting minutes. I'm very happy with them, except to learn that you were Denise Lawson, is that correct?
Once upon a time I was. Well, I wrote your name because that's what I still call.
I was so very confused, but pending that, I
I
guess
get called a lot of things.
it's still you, it's just a prior alias, but I will, unless anyone else has any commentary about the July 22nd meeting, I will make a motion to accept them as written.
Second.
Yes.
Lauren,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Tiffany.
Yes. And then we're going to run into the same problem on the August 12th. There were some things that I thought should be left in that weren't. Not quite as large a commentary, but if we're going to have the same discussion about the July 8th minutes, I'm going to have the same questions
So
about
we're
the August
tabling
12th.
it?
Yes, I would like to, unless you two would like to do something different.
Again, based on my conversation with our attorney today, I'm going to make a motion to accept those minutes.
I'm going to vote no.
I will vote yes, but contingent on conversation with Brett Benz, but it's okay.
And moving on to the August 26th meeting minutes, I have no additions or corrections. Any conversation on those?
No, I make a motion that we accept the August 26, 2024 minutes.
Second.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Tiffany, or Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. All right. So moving on to communications, I have just one. And this is kind of an old topic as well, but state auditor says everybody has to do the training for fraud training by September 28th. If you haven't done it, I've got a copy, you can scan it. Please make sure if you are receiving a paycheck from Deerfield that you do the fraud training. I'll leave these up here if anybody wants to take one or post it somewhere. Did we get everybody at the garage finished?
Yeah, one is getting current.
He didn't get a print, but he did.
And have all the instructions in the barcode to get them back to printed. All right. Any other communications, Tracy?
No.
I have one, but I'll bring it up during road department section.
All right. Guest speakers. Today we were supposed to have guest speakers for a hearing. Just this morning, I received an email from Attorney Beck stating that Mr. Kelderhouse's attorney was not available this evening. They would like for us to reschedule for next week. I gave them 2 dates, the Tuesday and Wednesday evening that the town hall was available, and asked for confirmation of when both attorneys were available. I did not yet receive confirmation on that. He's asking Attorney Beck for us to have a special meeting next week, but unfortunately, I don't have a date that they're both available yet.
What dates did you have in mind?
Well, they asked for next week, so I looked to see when the town hall was available next week. And that's why I'm bringing it up with you. The 17th, as of right now, there's nothing on the town hall calendar. On the 18th, the quilters are here in the morning, but the town hall should be available later in the day.
So that's what, Tuesday and a Wednesday?
It's a Tuesday and a Wednesday, so that's when the town hall is available. I don't want to make a special meeting and then I hear one of the attorneys can't make it that day.
Yeah.
Because that's redundant and it's a waste of time, so.
And expensive.
And it's expensive, so as soon as I hear from them and find out that everyone involved is available to be there, we will have to post a special meeting. Their goal, Attorney Beck's goal, was next week, but I couldn't get anyone to put a date down, so.
Okay.
Attorney schedules are out of my control, out of everyone's control at
Yep.
this table, so. I just wanted to bring that up in the beginning in case anyone had expectations of that happening today, which we all did until that happened. Any other speakers today? Do we have commentary?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Denise Adams.
Or whomever. Okay, even though my voice is probably plenty loud enough, I will stand for this. Just a few words of concern. I've been asked to bear witness to an altercation at the previous Deerfield Township meeting, and this saddens me. As responsible adults, we are supposed to improve our communication skills, including, but not limited to, consideration, negotiation, and poise as we mature. With age comes wisdom. Sadly, there has been too little of both recently in the township. There are always going to be things in life that do not go exactly as we like. Wisdom comes in when we learn to dispute them, how to dispute them, and to know when you have to be the bigger person and just go on. As a retired school bus driver, I used to tell my students during times like these that all people were not meant to like every other person in life. But that doesn't mean they have to be mean to them. If you don't like someone, just stay away and leave them alone.
Amen.
My grandmother taught us kids, if you can't say something nice about a person, don't say anything at all. Actually, she used to tell us, if you can't say something nice, keep your mouth shut. My grandmother was a very wise and intelligent woman.
Thank you.
Thanks, Denise. We have no other speakers signed up. Oh, okay, hold on, let me write it down. Do you want to come up so that we can hear you?
No, I just have a question.
Okay,
So since you guys are all talking about the meeting minutes and stuff being minute and all that stuff, what is the official record retention policy for the township?
The approved meeting minutes,
What is the retention policy?
the retention policy.
If we do go to accept, where they can get a thumb drive, we have to add that to a retention policy, and we will keep the thumb drive for a week, 6 weeks, 5 years, a year, whatever. He asked us to do that, which if we would have agreed to do that, I brought that up, that we need to do a retention, but we didn't, so.
That's fine, I'm talking
So-
about the meetings right now, all the past, as it says right now, without thumb drives, without anything else. What is the current retention policy for the township?
Our retention policy is right now that we do not destroy or dispose of any records.
So you keep everything from all
We,
this?
as far as I know, we've not done any records, got rid of anything for the last 25 years. That is our policy, because we never set up a policy where every 5 years we could clear records, or 10 years. We never did that, so our policy is we keep the records.
We have fire department has a different policy than that.
What's that?
We have to keep records for like 7 years.
Yeah, there's a minimum that you have, but then after that, you can say that every 10 years you can request through someone that you can destroy and delete records and everything, which we've never made that policy to do that. So our records, retention policy is we keep the records.
And I'm totally open to looking at changing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody
I've talked
does.
to
We
Eric
just-
about that.
we
I
just-
talked to Eric.
We just never
He
have,
sent me
so.
the paperwork for it.
Right.
Yeah, we just never have, that's all, and, you know.
And it might, having that recording may save us some back and forth with the minutes. So maybe that's an opportunity to make an improvement with how we do things.
But if we do the recorder the way it is right now, we would keep that forever. Unless we change the retention policy, that would fall right under the minutes. 10 years from now, we'll still have it,
So
unless we change it.
does that answer your question?
It does.
He had a better answer than I could have come up with. So
No,
thank
that's
you.
fine. I just-
Only because I've been involved in that before. We have talked about doing policies and setting different policies, and we just, over the years, we just never changed anything from what we had.
And I know we have a ton of records, but I didn't know if we had an official policy because, yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, that's my question, what the official policy is.
Maybe that's something we need to look at. All right. Going once, going twice on first-time commentary. Okay. Department updates. Road department. We got a new truck.
We did take possession of it.
Can you speak up a little louder, Tim?
Yeah, so we did pick up that truck, the 2019 F-250. That was actually one thing I do. I went on a list today to get a dollar amount approved to outfit that truck. Strobe lights, running boards. We need to have the stickers, decals put on it. So I was looking to see, be around we probably won't be at this much, but I'd like to see if we can approve $2,000 to put towards the lights, the running boards, the decals. I mean, if we're under it, we're under it, but I want to make sure the dollar amount was high enough that there wasn't going to be a question I have to come back and ask for any additionals later.
Running boards are very necessary. It's very tall. Everybody has a hard time getting in it because it sits very high off the ground. So there.
I'm 5'2", I have a great appreciation for running
Yep,
roads.
so I'll make a motion that we approve that up to $2,000. And I brought it up when we bought the truck, that there'd be additional expenditure to bring it up to what we needed for the road department. So I'll make a motion, we spend up to $2,000 getting the truck equipped.
I'll second.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
And then real quick on a, more of a communication thing, we got an email today. Notman Road, will be closed, per the county, tomorrow morning from 7:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. for a culvert pipe replacement.
I saw the road closed sign shoved over to the side, but I figured it was from the 14 culvert.
Oh, yeah.
Just one day?
Yeah, just tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And next up's our International Work Star, big dump. Need to send it to somewhere for a service and repair. We got an actual leak and a couple air leaks on it that is causing some issues for us. So
That's our main plow truck in the winter, so we do have some air leaks that we've been dealing with all summer. They've got a couple week time period here where we can send it in and get some repair work done on it. We need an oil change in it, a grease job, everything just checked over so that we're ready for winter. We haven't done that since last year, so.
And normally K&D takes care of that for us, so. Anybody has a preference for anything else, but they.
K&D always does our work. You okay taking it to K&D?
Yeah.
I'd make a motion that we take it to K&D trucking if they can get it in and get it back out for us.
Do you know a ballpark of what the expense is?
I have no idea. We don't know what we're getting into the air.
Yeah, as I
We
said,
know
it
there's
was
some
been air leaks,
tailgate
yeah,
leaking. We think one of the brake chambers is leaking. I don't know.
Could we do an up to approval? That way we're not getting into anything over the top?
Up to $2,500?
Sure.
That should cover it, I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah, I'll make a motion we approve up to $2,500 for repairs and basic regular maintenance on our international dump truck.
Second that motion.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. There's something in it, it just can't approve an open-ended anything.
Yeah, we should set it, yeah, you're right.
And then via the contractor for just doing our chip and seal work, they should be here within the next week. They're trying to tie up some loose ends to get out here. That'll be German Church Road between Bandy and Watson. It'll be Wagner Road between 14 and Johnson. And then it'll be Watson Road from 224 to Fewtown. Those will be the three they'll be working on that. The week of the 16th is tentative schedule for the Bandy Fewtown resurface project. Those guys will be down there starting next week, fixing all the bad spots first, building everything up, and then paving it out. It does look like the chip on that won't be done until spring. We're running out of time temperature-wise by the grant. So that'll be something that'll take place at a later date to finish that off. The Johnson Wagner intersection, that corn's kind of protruding out there a little bit. It's so close to what our right-of-way easement is. I know there's been a lot of complaints and concerns about it. Reached out to the farm that got that field planted, notified them of the issue. There really wasn't a resolution figured up on that, other than they would try to retain and not plant that close to the road in the future. Just wanted to make sure that was put out there. I know there's been a lot of concerns on it. And then the table from the last meeting, we discussed either possibly filling in that open position, the full-time position, or.
Can I interrupt you right there? There's something else in the road department while we're talking about the Bandy Fewtown project. County engineer called today. We have the official contract here. Tim and I went to a construction meeting last week on this. contractor's gonna do was there, we all got our questions answered and everything. That contractor got these documents, they have signed off on the documents, everything's good. County prosecutors agreed to this and everything. So now, as a final thing, we have to, as the Board of Trustees, we have to finally accept this and move on. There's a place here where the fiscal officer signs, and then there's a place where 3 trustees sign. And I need to make a motion that we do that. It's all approved by the county and engineer's office.
We need to make a motion just to sign that we've already agreed to do it. We can if you want to make it.
No, we've already agreed to do this, so I just want to know there's an additional document we need to sign. And one document pertaining to this that we didn't sign yet, there is engineering, architectural, and other things that go into this project prior to it starting. I gave you a copy of it right there. Proposal outline, project scope, scope of services, price proposal. They have people to do that, and inspectors that are on site to the whole entire job that have to be paid.
If you gave me a copy, I've already lost it.
Okay, I'll let you look at mine.
Okay.
But I did lay one there, it says somewhere.
Yeah, I don't.
But anyway, we only got this afternoon. The engineer called late this afternoon, said he's going to send this to us. We need to approve this. It is in addition to that same contract, but this is for to pay the inspectors, engineers, and that type of stuff that oversee this project and do the bid books and all that stuff for us. The total dollar amount is $10,608. Our part of that is $5,304 as our 50%. This does go along with that, but it is not included in that. There's my copy of what it is.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah, that's there, and we only got these this afternoon, so,
That's this.
yeah, that's that. You guys don't have a copy of the dollar amount, I only made the first 3 pages. The dollar amount that we will be required to pay up front is $5,304. And that is not included in that, this is in addition to. So I'll make a motion that we pay the $5,304 in addition to that.
Is this the only other
Yes.
expenditure we can expect?
No, this is it, everything else is done.
I'll second.
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. I got too much stuff up here, I lost it.
That was stated in the email as well, for the additional.
It was that there would be an additional, and I didn't know the dollar amount until right now, so. All right, sorry to interrupt you, Jim.
No, you're good, you're good. So the table of the last meeting, I had it on the note that talked about possibly filling that open position or within a wage adjustment of some sort. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts were on that, or if you guys have time to consider it, talk, or come up with anything. But that's the only other thing I have left on the road department part of it.
What are your thoughts?
So if you fill the position, it takes a little bit of physical work off of myself in general, but if the numbers don't pan out, because I know we obviously haven't been able to keep anybody around for the base rate that is being paid, so that seems to possibly be more of an issue. So I don't know, where the budget falls, how that could work, but I've been doing the best I could to keep up with everything. But in return, I did have on here, basically broke down to a third of what that base rate was for the full-time position. I was going to continue to do that on that.
Have you been doing a lot of overtime hours?
No,
No.
just storm cleanup, stuff like that, if we get, the first call comes in. But no, other than that, there hasn't been a lot of not to detail on all this.
I'd like to see us hire someone part-time here soon. What are your thoughts, Ed?
At our last meeting, we had someone that gave us a notice that he's looking for part-time work for the township. I didn't move forward with getting a resume or anything because we hadn't decided what we were going to do. In the last week, I have a neighbor down there that retired at a young age from Chrysler Corporation. He was out weeding his ditch. I stopped to say hi. He said he is probably willing to do some part-time hours for the township. He would be a good asset. He can run backhoes, dump trucks, equipment and everything. He could take a load off roadside mowing and stuff. But he said honestly, he probably would like to do, but honestly, if he needs a week or two off to go on vacation, he's gonna want to take a week or two off. So he said, I'm thinking about it, but I want to be upfront that I won't stick to you all the time. But he said, if there comes a time where the wife and I want to go for a week or two, honestly, I would go, he said. So that's just something to consider. We do have a couple of people interested in part-time now, which we have been lacking in part-time. So just something to consider, that we have had a couple of people express interest, and if we advertise them, maybe we'll get more interest.
Yeah, I
in
think we should
part-time.
advertise it so we give more time for people to respond.
So we were discussing,
If you hire somebody, why don't you, if you go to the full-time, have him that he has the backhoe, that kind of skills, but a little bit of mechanical skills that you can save the $2,500 from K&D, put a brake chamber on or change down an air leak.
Unfortunately, our insurance company is pretty set in the matter that we take them to certified garages to get brake work and stuff done. We used to do a lot of this stuff in-house. Insurance regulations and DOT stuff, they're requesting a lot of this work. Now, we could change our own oil and stuff there, we could do that. But mechanical work such as brakes and lights and that stuff, they're pretty much urging us to go to a certified garage, which we didn't used to do that. Now we're kind of going with recommendations that we do have certified garages do that.
I just figured if you had a day where it was raining, you could fix stuff you didn't have to send out and pay for it.
And these guys do a lot of repairs on it themselves. It's just not something that's going to take 2 or 3 days. These guys, every week, repair something, replace parts, whatever, that we can. It's just the major stuff like brakes and stuff, we just can't do them in-house anymore. Things have changed.
It's a nice thought.
It is a nice thought.
That's the thing.
Is this Otarma that's requiring us to send out?
They didn't say we had to, but they're strongly urging us to do that. The fire department pretty much has already been told you have to. We're not very far behind to be told we have to on the brake work and stuff because of liability. Someone in the garage fixing, you go out and our dump truck runs into somebody, the brakes failed. All right, why'd they fail? Who did it in-house? It just saves liability issues. They haven't issued an order yet that we do it, but it's coming. So we're just being proactive for doing that.
so we're discussing, so Roger had to open the full-time position, it's open now. And he brought us a part-time position, obviously we're kind of on two ways there. So I wanted to see what we wanted to do about that, on that aspect of it. I mean, part-time help is great, don't get me wrong.
And if we're asking someone to be flexible with their hours and they want to take a vacation in their part-time, I don't see any problem with that.
No, I don't either, honestly. And he said, I just want you to know up front that if that comes up, I might be gone a week or two, and, we'll discuss it.
You just have to find the right person.
Yeah, and maybe 3 or 4 right persons. That way, we've always got 1 or 2 people we can call, and if somebody's not here, maybe somebody else can pick up some extra hours.
So then part-timers, you guys are talking about, they're gonna take over the building and ground stuff. Some of the cemetery work, we want to put that directly on them then, or?
Again, that's something we'd have to discuss, but that would be part of my idea. If we got the right person, even the roadside mowing, which takes you a lot of time. Roadside mowing, if someone is capable of doing that, we could train them. They could spend 2 weeks, twice a month, or twice a summer roadside mowing and stuff if we wanted them to do that.
Well, yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, but again, though, we had a full-time position, and I'm looking to see, do we want to fill that full-time position? Or how do you guys want to handle it?
Maybe 2 part-time people. We'd have to see what kind of applicants we get.
Things I've thought about too, a lot of your summer work involves weed eating cemeteries. Maybe come spring, we need to look at hiring somebody to weed eat the cemeteries once a month. It'd be 3 or 4 times a year. Just hire somebody just to come in and weed eat. That takes a tremendous amount of time weed eating. And right now, Tim's doing 99% of the weed eating himself. I wasn't able to help this time because I had laser surgery in the eye and I wasn't allowed to do it. So he ended up weed eating all the cemeteries in the last week himself. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
So, but, I have no issue doing it, obviously, but, if there's no way wage adjustment, there's no, there's no incentive to doing it. That's why I said if we want to bring a part-time guy in, put some of that workload on them, give them the titles, and let them handle that stuff, I'm fine with it, but.
We
I'm
want to
being-
keep you, we
I'm
need to get
being-
you some help.
Right, I'm being asked to take over what the other full-time guy did, plus some additionals on the cemetery, which I'm completely fine with, but if the compensation isn't there, then I don't want to take that on, so.
Well, and luckily, when Roger resigned, we were kind of in a good spot right at that time. But we're not going to be in that spot all the time.
Right.
And I did bring up the fact that if we come to an agreement on a wage increase, adjustment and everything, that I would not be opposed to making it retroactive from when Roger quit to now, because you have stepped up and picked up all of that, in addition to what you were doing. So I wouldn't be, that's something we could talk
And
about.
that is appreciated.
We didn't
It
say
doesn't
we'd
go
do that, but-
unappreciated.
Oh, I don't need a pat on the back or anything, I'm just,
No.
just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page, that's all.
Sounds
'Cause
like
I know
we need
we
an
don't.
ad.
We need an ad.
We need an ad.
I know we sit down and talk a whole lot, but, I mean, if you're gonna do something, make it retroactive, I didn't know what you guys' thoughts were on it, but again, it's, if I'm gonna take over this stuff and try to handle most of it, then,
But it's unrealistic for you physically to do all of that. We need to get you help. You can't shovel all the asphalt, you can't do all the weeding, you can't do all of that. It's just too
I
much.
got a couple good years left in me.
Well, let's keep it that
Maybe
way.
get you some help.
Do you want to make an advertisement and bring it into the next meeting for us to have a look at, Ed?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that, and we can tweak it, and, as we interview people, we can see the weaknesses and strengths, and, we can always tweak it a little bit as we're talking to people, and
So don't you have to advertise it for 30 days, and so then he's stuck again for another 30-plus days without?
Yeah, that's what I was asking, but it
Yeah.
sounded like you're dragging it out, that's what
Right.
it seems, so. I mean, there's a lot more, to it, there's jobs that are obviously physical with me, part of it, but not terrible, nothing I can't handle.
yeah, and
So I'm
obviously,
not asking for that, but,
you've got vacation accrued and stuff, you need to be able to take vacations, we need to have somebody to be able to step in and keep the township going while you're gone, and, we understand that, and I do appreciate you stepping up like you have, I really
and
do.
I really do take days off,
Yeah,
time just gets filled with it.
so,
So, yeah, I just want to see what,
you want to figure out some kind of ad, and the next
Yes.
meeting, we'll get an ad out, Tim, and then we'll have more answers for you then too. Again, I'm more than willing to make a suggestion, we make it retroactive for your wage increase or whatever. Because you did step up immediately, you haven't complained at all, you've just stepped up and done it.
And we appreciate you coming to the meeting and talking about it, so we can come up with something to,
well, I don't want to come in like Roger and give you a 2-day.
that's what I was getting at, so thank you. Use your words.
Yeah, so that's, I just was curious how we wanted to go about that, how we're going to.
I personally I would like to not hire another full-time person. There are times in the winter where we don't need another person. But in the summertime, we definitely need 2 or 3 available part-time help. Good, the guys that we have now do a wonderful job mowing. They whip that out, they're good truck drivers, the 2 you have right now, you guys are getting a lot done with those 2, but one of them's not coming back next year, so we do have to replace that.
So even if you post for a part-time position, are you going to give Tim a raise or not? That's where this is all.
What's that?
Even if you do post a part-time position, does TJ get a raise or no? That's basically what he's asking in a
Yeah.
nutshell.
But there was going to be an
Yeah.
adjustment made, or how we want to go about that. I
And
guess.
we could get it maybe a permanent part-time where you get 24 hours a week guaranteed or something. There's a lot of things we can look at. If we get the right candidate, we can tweak what we're offering instead of total on-call basis, but we're offering 24 hours a week year-round or something as part-time and then additional as needed. There's a lot of things we can do. We've just been so busy, honestly, we haven't really moved forward as quickly as maybe we should have.
Well, that's
but
fine,
we will.
let's move
Let's get
forward.
that ad on.
The faster we get started, the faster we'll get something accomplished. Did you want to make any recommendations on salary? Or do you want to wait until we come up with a part-time position? What would you like to do, Ed?
Are you okay waiting until the next meeting for a wage increase in substance is probably going to, are you guys maybe agreeable to a retroactive since he has been doing extra work? I mean, I can't say because I haven't brought it up as a motion, but
We talked about it the
Yeah,
last
we
meeting.
did talk about it, and we agreed to talk about it more, which I guess we're not ready. I can do either one.
What about talking about it, and then if it goes through, go retroactive from the time you asked?
Yeah, that's what we discussed
Yeah.
last week. That's kind of what we agreed on.
That's what we
Yeah.
unofficially agreed on. There's a good possibility that we may go retroactive to the day the other guy quit and Tim picked up the extra work and everything. Instead of just starting now, we'll go retroactive to make it right with him for doing that.
But
So,
regardless with who we hire, I think maybe we should still address the wage now, whether we want to move
I'm
forward
good with
with that
that.
or,
I'm good with that.
okay?
What are you thinking on your wage, Tim?
Well, like I had on the last note, I based it on a third of what the other full-time guy made. I mean, I'm not, I don't want to be greedy about it, but I also don't want to devalue my time because, you know, of what check maybe, but I know I don't devalue my time at home, I don't devalue my products to customers or anything outside of the township as well, so I don't try to intend to do it.
I do know that your wages are lower than a lot of the road superintendents in the county. I don't know if you're lower than all of them or not. Do you know? I know you were,
I don't know how much.
I know you're kind of close to some of them, but I know some of them are pretty far behind too.
Right.
But ones you're far behind are bigger townships with a lot bigger budget and more roads and stuff, so we have to consider that too.
And typically, we do the raises in January in the organizational meeting, and we, you know, it's not that we can't do it in the middle of the year. There have been some special circumstances.
Yeah, this is kind of a unique situation that we may have to, we
So,
should probably
you know,
do something
even-
prior to January.
Even what we do today, you know, could be a stepping point towards what we do in January as well. We could reconsider where we are in January, not saying we don't do something today, but it doesn't have to be the end-all be-all decision of the final salary. That's just a quarter away, so just bringing that up, that we, you know, typically make those adjustments in our organizational meeting in January.
So I did request a third of the base wage, which is $12,666. Would be a third of what the base was on the other full-time position, which is still $24,000 plus a year.
Have you calculated a percentage of what percentage of a raise that would be for you?
Around 30%.
31%.
Yeah. It was 33%.
33%.
Do you have a recommendation?
I honestly don't. I mean, I want to treat Tim right, obviously. I guess my recommendation would be different. Are we kind of in agreement that we're not going to hire full-time? Then my recommendation might change where we're going to hire another full-time guy.
So,
If we're kind of in agreement to not to do a full-time and do part-time, I might have a different opinion on the raise we would give him today, is all I'm saying.
ideally, and just to be on the other side of that, when you hire someone part-time, we're not offering them benefits. So sometimes they come back and they say, well, I'm not getting benefits, so I should be getting more of a salary, just to bring up something that may present down the road.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're not doing a lot of overtime. It seems like things are getting managed without a lot of extra hours, so that's, you know, and if you need overtime, of course, we can always do that, but we don't want to lean on that.
No, it's only been for storm cleanups. Occasionally, we haven't had one for a long time, it'll be a Saturday burial. You know, winter time, pick up some extra hours as well, depending on what the weather does, storms and stuff.
And he's already started more as a cemetery sexton. We gave him some additional duties that he agreed to take on.
Which in the long run, some of those will actually make your job easier, from what I understand at our last meeting.
Correct, schedule me will be while I answer on that.
That way we're not going through 2 or 3 steps to get a funeral scheduled, because he's the guy that has to do it to begin with.
Right, so that just.
And he's already going down and has agreed to do that. So in this compensation, what it was asked for, that would be included in this as a cemetery sexton. Prior to Tim, we had a cemetery sexton that we paid. And then we rolled it into one job and not have a separate sexton, which some people have. Some cemeteries, they pay sexton $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, I think. And we don't have that.
So typically in January, when we look at raises, we're somewhere between 2 and 5%. So 30%, just to hear it off the cuff, sounds like a very large percent. Not that we don't appreciate you 30%, but right off the cuff, that's, it's a significant number.
So if I'm taking over more of the cemetery, say, let's call it 5%, and taking over, what the other full-time guy did.
Just
another 100,
sticker shock.
So you're asking for 105% more out of me, and I'm asking for 30% out of you, and you guys are staring at me like a deer. Makes me feel real warm and fuzzy inside, more or less.
Then what are you gonna do when Tim leaves because they don't have enough money to go somewhere else?
We don't want that.
Well, and then it's make a decision.
Any other comments? I feel like I'm the only one talking here.
Well, does the township have the money?
Yes, road department does.
The
Yeah,
road,
because-
the road department,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Because you're not having as long as you don't have a full-time person, you base it on that where you're only hiring somebody part-time, you will have enough money to.
Okay.
Yeah, right now, we're not paying Roger's salary or the benefit package that he has, so that money is in the road department that would have been taken out probably. It's a lot of money though.
Would you be willing to negotiate down here?
Well, like I said, I hate to devalue my time,
I know.
honestly. I mean, I'm so wore out some days leaving out of here that it's hindering me after hours to.
Which is why we want to get you help.
Try to
Right.
make money
Right.
and, do stuff outside of work as well, but, obviously we know most people that work 2 jobs and then we're kind of keep going, but, we do have some plenty of stuff keeping busy outside the township as well, but, just drink and beat up and then don't feel like doing half my stuff when I get out of here. There's gotta be some give and take there, I guess, but I don't feel I'm asking for a whole heck of a lot for the increase of workload that I'm incurring, so.
My first thought that pops into mind is, we offer a 25% raise right now, make it retroactive to the day Roger quits, and then the first year at the organizational meeting, will give us an opportunity to give you an additional raise, a more substantial raise at that time than what the other employees would get, to bring you up closer to what you're asking for right now.
So it's like a 3 or 5 maybe in January?
Instead of,
Or
or maybe 10%
We
or
make no
something
promises
too.
until we vote, but.
Right, instead of, well, I know sometimes some years it's been 1, some years it's been half.
I've never done a half. That
No,
was
this-
before me.
This is a while ago, but.
And in the meantime, we're gonna get somebody part-time.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're gonna get you some help.
I mean, I, off the top of my head, I would suggest a 25% increase immediately, make it retroactive to the day Roger quit. And then at the organizational meeting, we have an opportunity to revisit that number and give you a more substantial raise than possibly the other employees to get you closer to the third that you're asking for. That's the first thing that pops to mind. What do you guys think about that?
I was thinking somewhere between 15 and 20% and readjusting in January, but I'm open for the discussion. I want them to feel valued, but I also want to make our budget reasonable as well. So, Laura, where do you land?
If we have enough money in the road department, I'm not arguing that you're not worth all that you do for us.
Oh, I don't, yeah, I
You
wasn't
know,
picking on anybody.
That's not it. Just want to make sure that the road department has enough money.
Does 25% make you feel warm and fuzzy for now?
Well, I feel better than you guys looking at each other. No, what to do,
Negotiations are challenging. You never
They
want
are
to say the
challenging.
wrong thing.
Right. So, yeah, I'm good with it. At least it's. a step in the right
Especially since we're
direction.
going to go back to when you became short-staffed.
Right.
Right. In the meantime, we'll get you some help,
Yeah.
so you're not running ragged.
Some days it's fun, some days it's just.
Right.
We still have a lot of work coming up. All the leaves are gonna come down yet. There's a lot of stuff to get done yet before we get, sometimes we get into the lull period between Thanksgiving and the first of the year. Sometimes we don't, but we got a lot of leaf work coming up and he's gonna need help on it.
You might want some time off.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to do that?
Do you want to, you can help.
not very often.
Do Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we increase Tim's wages 25% immediately and make it retroactive to the date that Roger quit, which I don't have the number, the date in
This is
front
done
of
in
me.
May.
No, it's June.
June.
Late June, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have the date available on
Yeah,
the record
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And if we agree to that, then we'll revisit it for maybe a more substantial raise than other employees in January at an organizational meeting.
And hopefully by then we have a better idea of what our staff will look like. I'll second it.
Yes.
You okay with that?
Yes.
For now?
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. Thank you, Tim.
All right, do we get on to the next one now? Cemetery?
Cemetery.
What are we negotiating?
No,
with
nothing on the
cemeteries?
cemeteries, just wanted to give a report on it, that's all.
Okay.
We have one full burial since the last meeting. Weed was completed Friday, so all the cemeteries have been weeded again. The old green truck, the one that we agreed to send out, is going to the auction yard in the morning. So, if anybody wants to say bye to it.
The old green Chevy.
It'll be at the garage until probably about 10 a.m. and then it's going to the auction yard, so.
I won't shed a tear.
Then figure so. Just want to make sure everybody's
Take
aware of
pictures
it.
with everybody before it leaves.
Hang a frame on the wall.
And then switching over to the buildings and grounds, the parking lot seal crew started today, doing the crack seal, so they're gonna coordinate to see when they have to, when the town hall's not being used, and they can go in and finish sealing it, so that date has not been set yet. I think they're gonna reach out to you, Ed, on.
Yeah, they're gonna put out 2 or 3 dates that they could possibly do it. We'll have to check with the fiscal officer to see when the building's ready, because we don't wanna have a parking lot on reason early for somebody to rent, so we'll coordinate with them. They have done it before on the weekends, actually Saturday and Sunday, which they may end up having to do that again, so. But we'll make sure that the town hall, if it's rented, is accessible, so. But they did
On that
crack seal
point,
already.
Can I make an addition to the comment about that?
What? Sure.
About the town hall. Mid-August, the addition to the website went live with the town hall schedule. So everyone can see when the town hall is being rented or not. If someone personally is renting it, your information isn't on there, it says reserved, and the clubs are on there, and so that's open to everyone. And Nancy seemed to think it was going really well, and that's how I came to find out what days the town hall was open for the attorney. So just for everyone's use, yours as well, Ed and Laura, you can go on there and look at the schedule.
How often is that updated?
Well, Nancy is updating it as she gets additions, so hopefully it should be in real time. And that's all I have about that, so sorry for the interruption. Seemed like a good segue.
And then the only other thing I had on the list from the last meeting was talk about possibly getting some pricing for a privacy fence up there at the station. But that's something that just wanted to make sure I brought it up. I don't have price quotes, didn't call anybody. Wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts on it, I guess, along the way. So just kind of putting it out there, but it's not nothing mandatory with pricing or anything. It's been figured out together.
I have a quote with me.
You did?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. And this company I've dealt with, I asked them for the footage and all of that, so you can use that.
Okay.
That's one, and we should always get a few, so very nice people.
Okay. Easy enough. Yeah, we'll try to get some
Let's
more.
try to get a couple more before the next meeting.
Ask and you shall receive.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. And that is all I have, other than touching on the trucks that you have down there. I don't sign the checks, so I don't do it.
That would come out of the fire
Yes.
fund, because it's on fire
Because it's on
department.
fire department property.
Do we need one? I know the trees are in, but isn't there one, a white fence over on the property of the?
They let theirs grow up with weeds and everything around it, and everything is why I was trying to, we keep ours nice and neat and looking good, and I personally would like to see a nice white vinyl privacy fence there. We can talk about not doing it, I personally would like to see it, and we don't have to make a decision now to see what the prices come in at. If it's a huge amount of money, we can consider not doing it.
And those aren't people that I know personally that I hired. I got like 6 quotes to do my fencing. They did a great job, super easy to work with. I just really enjoyed them. So
If it's too much money and if we feel that it's too much drain on the fire department fund, we can reconsider not doing it. I'd like to go ahead and get quotes so we can talk about it. It was just kind of-
Fence was there, and I didn't know.
We're gonna put an addition on back there, we got a nice, we're gonna do septic and everything, I just think that would be part of the total package of giving us our own space there and everything.
if you have reservations about how it fits in the budget, we'll
Yeah.
definitely do that.
I'm just curious, because I seen the other fence was there, so.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if there would be a gap in between, that he would have to get in there and mow, or how that worked.
We'll take a look at it, figure that all out, so.
So that's all I have on my report, other than like I said, when you get the trucks that are down, I'll give an update on them.
We're still on cemetery.
Yes.
Okay. I have an appointment with Jason from Rayland's Tree Service next Monday at 9 a.m. to do a tree assessment in Deerfield Township and Hartsel Road Cemetery. So he's going to check the trees, and if there's any limbs that are bad, we'll have him give us a quote on that and take care of that.
Okay. Can we go back to the road department just for a moment, because we had a very lively character here at our last meeting named Eileen, who asked about some updates, told some great jokes. And I understand she said there was some work done. over
Yes,
there.
it's
Can
not
you-
completed yet. Tuesday morning, I called the Lexington Township trustees and the road superintendent. One of them met with me Tuesday afternoon along with the road superintendent. They were aware of the situation. They didn't know it was as bad as what it was. I offered it, I said, if you guys won't do it, can't do it, don't want to, whatever, we will do it. And they said, no, absolutely not, that's our job to do it. This happened just before Labor Day, so the road superintendent painted the road out right there. He called OOPS to get underground wires marked, and he put cones there. If it's not completed yet, it will be completed very soon. They come out immediately, and we talked about this a year ago, and it just fell through the cracks, but they are going to fix it. The problem is, there's a nice new 12-inch plastic double wall pipe toward the back of the ditch, and it goes way down the road. Coming into that pipe is a 12-inch, 8-inch or 12-inch steel pipe on the outside of the ditch, so there's a big offset from here to here, like 2.5 foot. So they never tied it in because it's going to be a job to do it, but they said, we will do it, we'll take care of it. So
Okay.
Lexington is going to do that.
She brought a picture today.
Of the work
With
that
the
had been
cones,
done?
yeah.
So that is moving forward.
Okay.
The welcome sign has disappeared.
The welcome sign is gone. It's not there.
Yes, it is.
It
That
is?
one down there by Deerfield Ag. It's in the front yard of the home that I believe.
It's by Watson.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
that house belongs to the people that have the military surplus store.
Oh, the hospital.
Hopkins.
Hospital.
Okay.
But yes, that sign is there. That's still leaning, there's still a board broke off the bottom, but it is there.
Okay.
I can ask Rod if we
I went to borrow my glasses.
All right. Tim, while you're here, you can get some weigh in on this. Do we have any ideas about the stump still? Because we were kind of at a standstill with what we wanted to do with that. It was in a questionable spot. Do we want to discuss that at all?
Personally, I don't think it's in a questionable spot. I feel that the tax maps show our old town hall, shows about 2 foot all the way around it in the back. That's our property, and the rest of it's not our property. To me, it clearly shows that.
Right here. Some of the trees going across the line, but I don't know, any ideas?
If it's on ODOT's right away, I can reach out to Brian tomorrow and see if he wants to meet me and see if it's something that they can do about it. I don't know if they will, but it's worth a shot. So I can call them in the morning.
I think it's on ODOT's right away, is what I think.
Public easement.
Oh,
It's right on.
that's what I'm saying, no. They're so good at it.
All you can do is ask.
I printed a picture from the auditor's website.
I'm
and-
pretty sure it's on They're right away, or they would not have removed that tree and ground everything up and cleaned it up like they did if it wasn't on their right away.
I can ask him if there's something that can be done with that. I'll
Just a
try to get
friendly-
an answer from him.
Yeah.
Yes or no, or maybe, or whatever.
If
We-
it's,
we
if
can
maybe
keep
it's already
working
on their
that.
way, don't we just,
I'll send him, I'll get you guys an update as soon as I hear back from him.
any
Nothing
update
else,
on?
they can point the finger at the other landowners and no belongs to them.
The gazebo or monument, any updates?
Still the same where it's at. Some bills have been turned in. I know a couple of them have been paid for the gazebo. I'm still waiting on blueprints to be submitted to Portage County for the gazebo, but I hate to keep saying it's coming shortly, but that's what they keep telling me every week when I talk to them. I mean, I talk to them weekly and tell them we need to get this moved forward. That's what the architect keeps telling me, so.
I did notify Oops, they did come up and do the layout and mark all the lines, so.
For the monument up there,
Yeah,
I asked
whenever
him to call
someone's-
Roots because there's underground electric lines, and they came up and marked everything. I know Chris Sutcliffe was planning on doing it in 3 weeks from the time I talked to him, which is getting into this week, so I look for something to happen, I guarantee Smith work in the next week or so. Because
I've never heard it called oops.
Ohio Underground
Just
Protection
call, like, I mean,
Services.
just call the number, that's kind of,
Yep,
oops, yeah.
and they come in and then once they mark their flags there and everything, if we hit an electric line underneath there, or a gas line or whatever, where they've got it marked, where if we dig anywhere they don't have marked and we hit, then the problem is theirs.
No, I've just never heard, I know what it
That's
is,
what,
I've
that's
just
what
never
we call
heard
it,
it called
yeah.
oops.
That's what we call it.
All right, anything else for road department or buildings and grounds? We can move on to the fire department. Nancy's not here. Do you want to join? Because we have a lot to do.
We have the other day.
Okay, that way we can see, okay. You want to get started?
Yeah, let me start.
Okay.
We get 25 calls for the month, 14 medical, 4 fire calls, 4 service calls, 3 mutual aids, and year-to-date with 257 calls. On the list, I'm gonna stick around a little bit, because I want, like, apparatus, I'm gonna go to next. Because Timmy's here, and I'd like to get him to give him some information. Tanker 14 is still out of service, it's at Apple Creek, and Squad 14 is still out of service. Can you give us updates on both of them?
Yep. So the tanker, the valves were repaired and about done on Friday. I called to notify them that we were having issues with that drop tank, for Todd giving me that update on that. They were going to dig into it and then let me know. They said it should be done midweek this week. So that'll take care of the tanker. The squad, what they're running into is those parts for that thing have to come through from P-Fund. And P-Fund doesn't know what they need to do it. They need all the axle codes, they need the chassis bins, everything, so they can email it straight back to the manufacturer of those parts and then be able to see what the availability is of them. So that's where that one's at. It's so on hold, as no parts have been even ordered for it yet. That's all I got on the squad.
So that's it.
The check engine light on the squad was just an ambient air temperature sensor, so that'll clear that for when we get it back as well.
So the squad, the first problem they're working on, and then they'll tell if there's more problems after that.
Correct.
Okay. Can we go to old business, Stephanie, or new business first?
Whenever you prefer.
Well, let's go with old business because it's a little bit less. The SAM's number that has been expired, QK is working on that. He did finally get access to the information. So he filed the paperwork. We're just waiting to hear a confirmation from them that it is approved. And we can continue on with our grant stuff that we need to do.
Yeah, he did let us know that Scott Simmons went ahead and, I guess, helped add him as an administrator, so we got that sorted out, we hope.
And on the same aspect of the grant stuff, we are looking for another grant writer. We have found a girl that lives in Sebring that was a grant writer here in Portage County. And we're waiting to get some information from her. She's supposed to get us together some stuff. And then you also have one from Canton, so we can at least have two to compare, and we can take it from there.
Yeah, I spoke with Don Thomas Consulting, they're out of Canton. He has done a lot of work for government agencies. It's a firm with 18 people. They've done work for senators, so they have a lot of that government experience. And they would be willing to come and speak with us. You could do a full contract or a la carte, so just options, so we could all compare and look at those, but very receptive so far.
Again, it's the time of year where we're going to need to go to ladders, SCBA's and truck pump testing done. We're looking to get that done in the near future. They're good for a year, and we did them a year ago, and it's time to get them done again. So we'll keep everybody up on how that is going at this present time.
Did he share the quote for the ladder testing?
He did, but he didn't send it to me today, but he said that he has one, so.
I do have it, and I hope I'm not interrupting too badly, but we used to do, and maybe Brian or Todd, you can refresh our memories. I understand we used to team up with Palmyra and go to Southeast schools, and they did all of that in one kind of little swoop.
The company didn't do it. They didn't have enough staffing to do it last year, so.
Okay, so maybe that's just not available anymore. I can pass this down to you. This is the ladder quote for the aerial guy, was $400.
It's something we have to do, so I mean, you have an idea of what.
I heard a story of Miles used to do it in the garage and put weights on the ladders and measure all of that, but probably not as specific as we have to be today.
Yeah, not legal anymore.
Yeah. Do you want to, us to move forward with that quote, or do you want to look at that and bring
No,
that
let's go
back?
ahead and, if we want to go ahead and move forward with the ladder until we price it for the
Just
other.
compared to what we paid in the past, it seems reasonable.
That is only the ladders up.
Yeah, that's.
And
all I-
it's just the ladders.
I'll make a motion that we let them, I forget the name of the company. come
The
in.
aerial guy?
I make a motion that we let them come in and get the ladders tested so that we have that out of the way.
I'll second.
Yes, the aerial guy. Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
We'll have the other pricing soon. Okay, anything else on that for now?
Not on the
testing?
ladders,
Okay.
some of the other testing, but I'm sure you're getting to that.
Well, like I said, we're just waiting on getting pricing from them because there's very few companies that actually do it, so.
That do the hose testing?
No, the pump testing, the actual truck itself.
Okay.
That's the one that we always, before when the partners there, but not now. Things are happening.
Okay.
So I do gotta come out to the parish chief to find out who they're going through this year.
In the email that Derek sent, he mentioned with a question mark, Fallsway?
Falsely.
Yes. Does that ring a bell?
They're in Youngstown, or like Gerard, I think.
I think should be.
That's where Berlin takes all their stuff.
Okay, just an idea.
Yeah, he was getting pricing, so.
Okay.
He just asked me to mention it tonight so he can, at least it's on the radar.
We'll have to have someone do it, so.
Another big issue that was coming in is the cadet program, junior fireman. It's a great idea for us to look into it. We just need to get some more information. Have you guys received a letter or stuff from the Artana insurance guy yet?
So, we did speak with workman's compensation.
I called workers' comp.
And they said, they gave us a form which you can get online. We would have to put every cadet on the form and pay a $300 premium and send that in for them.
Per cadet?
Per cadet. Per cadet. So that would have to be filed. And then I forwarded the email from the prosecuting attorney today. He gave us an example of a liability release and medical authorization that everyone would have to have their legal guardian sign. And then also made a suggestion that we address social media, any photos, because that's a hot topic with any minors, to make sure that if you were to advertise the program or have them on the website, that was something that was in writing and cleared. So that's where my investigations led.
Well, we need to hear from the Otarma, Andrew, something they called. He called on other products, other information. So his suggestions were, like if we put in a cadet program, they can't go to fire seals. All they can do is train at our station and go through classes like that. I asked him to put it in writing. He's supposed to be sending it to you guys, because I want to see
I haven't had anything come across.
what he says, actually, because if we're paying $300 per year per cadet, that can't go out on fire calls, can't do anything to sit at our station, we need to look into that, to see if I can, gosh, but I want to see what his recommendations are before we jump forward and start putting everybody on, and then say it afterwards, we can't do it.
And Brett also mentioned that, is it Britztown? Randolph has a pretty successful program going, and they may be a great resource to kind of, we don't have to do it just like they are, but they may have some good insights on what works and what doesn't. I'm sorry?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there's some avenues we need to look at. I just wanted to see what our insurance carrier said first before.
He is very enthusiastic about starting.
I know that, and
We have to make sure it's right.
I want to get it in because of that, so.
Right.
Some questions we need, though. If we have one that wants to start right away. If he's at the station doing hours or whatever, everybody gets called out. What's he do? We have a lot of liability if we leave a minor sitting at our station. So what do we do? Does he go home? We have to get all that figured out before we let him start. That's just a concern I have. Everybody gets called out. I'm not all enthused about leaving a minor at the station by himself,
Correct.
for obvious reasons.
Which is why one of the questions I asked was, do we have to have 2 people on staff to have him? But if we have 2 people on staff, they may both be dispatched, so.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets you guys, let me know, and we can start making progress.
I've been watching, I've heard nothing, so you may want to let him know we're still waiting for that if you speak to him again.
The other thing under old business, at the last meeting, it was brought up that we have no maintenance program, which is kind of concerning, that it was brought up, because last year in 2023, we spent over $33,000 on maintenance for our truck. We are doing a lot of work, we're catching up, a lot of things we need caught up, and so from that point, like I said, we have it, and I am going to put a person's over top of going through monthly, crawling underneath the trucks, looking, just to make sure. Because, like I said, we spent a lot of money catching up, and
I'm glad you brought that up, because the person you're talking about said we have no maintenance program, we don't do this or that, and I know we spent $30,000 getting stuff up to date. When you came in and Gary came in and more or less demanded that we get all these trucks gone over and everything that needed fixed to make them roadworthy. We had trucks with tires on it that were 20 years old, the tires were 20, how long we've had the truck, they were original tires, they were dry cracked, and every meeting prior to that, I always asked the fire department, hey, is there anything need done to any equipment? And to stop Pat answer us, nope, we're all good. But it wasn't good. We spent over $30,000 in repairs to get this stuff roadworthy and safe. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to actually address that there was some misinformation passed out or said at the last meeting. We've made a great effort to move forward with the maintenance, and Part of that's what you suggested about doing some in-house work. We take all the fire equipment now, goes to a certified garage. So when it's done, it's done. The oil changes, the grease jobs, the brakes, all that stuff now, we're having a certified company do it so that we can certify our insurance company, dependable, certified garage did it. And that's all in place right now. We're still playing a little bit of catch up, but we're getting pretty close now. But again, there was $33,000 spent to get stuff up to where it is now, where it has to be maintained, so.
Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true.
Right, but yeah, but some
It's true.
people automatically took that as gospel, and it was not gospel. These guys made a great effort when they come in. I was up there when we had an outside company come in and just briefly go over every truck, and we had a whole notebook full of stuff that had to be done immediately. So then we triaged and picked out the truck that was the worst, and one by one, we agreed in the meeting to send it out and get it fixed and brought up, and that's been a process, but it's done now. So,
Speaking on the maintenance, I don't know if this is helpful at all, but I have this. This is the 2022 from Rubberland about the valves that were replaced. Looks like they were both replaced in 2022 on that tanker. I just thought I'd share that with you for your,
these are the opposite side, correct, Tim?
okay?
These are the opposite side, there's valves on each side. Reberland did that, but these are the opposite side of the truck. As
Gotcha.
far as I know, I could, you are correct. Okay. Because I knew we'd send it out and had that done, and paid a lot of money to have it done. And I did question that, we just had this done, and they said, no, this is the side they didn't do, so. What happens is we use lake water. So you get mud in there, you get grit in there, you get sand in there, you open and close those valves, there's a seal in those valves. That seal gets damaged and they have to be repaired then after a amount of time. We don't use city water, we use Myrtle Lake water for the most part, so that's part of it.
Just sharing the information
Yeah.
I had, if it's helpful.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that they go bad though, is because of the water we use.
And also, Derek mentioned something in his email that I thought was a great idea as well. Is maybe, and he was very interested in doing this, and I'm sure he'll discuss it with you, making for our organizational meeting a planned maintenance schedule for everything, that way we can approve it all in one fell swoop. Maybe give like a 20% allowance because budgets change. But if that's something you're interested in doing, I would be, because
Him and I sat down and talked about that.
yes, I think it's a great idea.
Anything else under that stuff?
Yes. He also mentioned the SCBA set up yearly bench testing. And the company that we used to use for that, I don't believe we can because they're new, it's new equipment. We have to go with the manufacturer of that. I have the old invoices, but that really doesn't do us any good because we'll need new. He did send, this is a 2024 quote for $1,815.87. If you want to, I'm sure you have it as well.
You got it already?
So is this something we need to do today? Is this something you want to look at?
Well, he was going to make sure that they could do
Okay.
could do that. As soon as he lets me, he
He
has.
just sent me this today, so I was assuming he was ready to go, but maybe he's not. You want to wait?
Unless he
until-
sends it to me, he sends it to you after 3 o'clock.
It was this afternoon, but I don't remember
Well,
exactly.
if he sends it to you after 3, he would make the phone call, so.
He was making phone calls.
So, if we got a price on it after 3 o'clock, let's go ahead and approve it.
So we can approve this, and if you need to go with another company,
Oh, okay, I didn't know that was,
this is the new one. This is, the date 7/29/24 was the quote, and that's what he sent me today. So I'm assuming he had some communication with them. We could go ahead and make a motion to do this if you're, wherever, did you get a chance to see it? And then if we're wrong and we need to make an adjustment, we can, but we can get the ball rolling. It's 1,800 and change.
That's what the difference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
You're
under-
correct, that is the
Yeah.
tip. My apologies.
Yeah.
This is the scuba, and it's the SCBA, it's the old invoice.
Okay.
So my apologies. I'll pass that down to you. That's for 2022. I lost my sticky note that said tick. That's for the thermal camera.
That's on, well, if you're ready to talk about that.
We can, sure.
Blazeman doesn't do this, does he?
The SCBA,
No.
no, he's doing all of our fire extinguishers and stuff because he's.
Right.
Okay, under the thermal imaging camera, that we were going to purchase under the grant, and then, could not end up doing that because of the SAM's number being expired. The price of the TIC thermal imaging camera is $3,175. But we have a credit there already for $1,359. So if we buy this thermal imaging camera, because our other one, it won't keep a charge and we can't use it. It's $1,815.87 to purchase to have it brand new and kept. If we decide not to, we'll send it back. But
So we think we've got the Sam's number problem figured out?
hopefully, it's sent to them, we're just waiting on.
So
It's $6,000, right? I hate to spend,
it was my understanding that that was not the issue. It was that the grant writer approved it, and there was a misunderstanding about how much funds was available, and those funds were not available. So even though we got the SAMs updated, I don't believe that's going to go back and pay for that.
Okay.
So it would have to come out of our funds, and we do have the credit.
Yes, that's what Derek said.
Correct.
He was sending it back because she told him to get that, so he went ahead and got it. And then she called him and told him, oops, I made a mistake, and then, so now we have to send it back.
Same way with the RAM.
Yes.
We know we're sending the RAM back.
Yes.
But we know we don't have the funds for that.
But there was a question about whether the ticket be purchased, because it sounded like it was a very much needed piece of equipment.
It is, we use it on 90% of the house.
But we do have a credit. You're right.
I'm not opposed to getting it, under those circumstances. I just thought that once we got the Sam's taken out, then we go back to the grant. and pay
That's
for
why
it.
I wanted to
I
clarify,
was
no.
just not wanting to spend money that we could use grant money for, but if we can't, then I'm all about buying it.
It doesn't seem that that's an option at this time. We would have to take it out of the fire department funds.
We have the funds in the fire department, I think.
I'll make a motion to buy the TIC camera, the thermal camera at that price. Can you, read the price I sent it out?
$1,815.87.
And use the credit that we have on file, which is about $6,000 towards that.
I'll second Tiffany's motion on that.
Yes. Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, next thing I have, and I'm going to ask Brian Allison, Captain Allison, to speak on it. We're applying for a grant with the county. We're going together with the county on radio equipment. You want to talk about it, Brian?
The county sent us a email that there are going to be updates for some of our March radios. Some of our radios don't have the two authentication capabilities to be upgraded for the next upgrade that's going to happen here soon. So we applied for 12 portable radios to replace the old ones we have at the station.
Matching funds, do we have to pay anything, or this is a total? Those would be ours if we get awarded the grant.
They're going to replace the old ones we have, but some of them are dying off, and we have to replace.
Do we need a motion to do that? Yes?
I would think so, because we're gonna get into a grant with the county. We probably should just make a motion to move forward with that, just
to
as a
make
matter of
sure.
record.
I'll make a motion that we allow Brian Allison to pursue the county grant to purchase updated Marks radios, if I'm saying that correctly.
Second motion.
Yes,
Laura? Yes. Ed?
yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. Thank you, and if you need anything, let us know.
I did it already, sorry.
Well, I'm glad we approved it then. That would have been awkward if we didn't.
Kind of didn't matter, they were getting them anyway.
We asked for some other things, and they said we weren't eligible because we asked for
It had to be in by last Friday.
Sounds good.
Done deal.
We asked for a repeater too, but they said that we don't need one because we got a tower in our township. So hopefully they get our tower up and running.
Yeah, hopefully we get a tower.
The tower
Tower's
does.
there. They're just
Yeah,
waiting on
but
the
we're not,
giveaways.
it's not ready yet.
No.
And I asked for an update on that, and I haven't got one back yet.
Oh, the paperwork's in, they just have to get somebody to sign off on it, and then Spectrum's gonna come in and run the internet and stuff.
That will solve a lot of our problems.
Yes.
Sabrina had a lot to do with that. You can give her a call and ask her about the tower activation.
It probably won't be any good, it's in Mark's hands.
Well, I was trying to do something good.
Oh, I do something all the time, I call and ask them. You can call her, though, I'm not gonna take that away from you. She can do whatever you want, she'll just tell you.
A couple other things we're looking at is, Eric and I both had a discussion. We need to get departmental emails for every employee.
I'm on it.
Okay.
I got a plan. You want to hear it?
Sure.
And I'm open to other plans too. I spoke with Bruce Carroll, who does our website, and he said we can do it through our website, GoDaddy. They could pick a domain and make as many emails as you want. There would be no fee through GoDaddy. I asked him, since I'm not tech savvy on setting all that up, if he would help us, and he said yes. I asked him how much, and he said, I don't know, a couple $100. And I said, less than $300, and he said, yes. So he's willing to do that for us for a small fee of getting it set up and started. And we're already paying GoDaddy, so it would be under our GoDaddy, so that's something we could do, and he said he could have that up and running in a couple of weeks. And he's done a lot for us with the website. He did some updates for free, and I find him very easy to work with, and he lives in Deerfield, so.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with allowing him, asking him to do that for us.
I'll second.
Yes. Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, last.
Although the domain might be really long, like our website, unless we pay more to change it, but whatever, right? As long as we have one.
I mean, if we're gonna make it so more communication friendly, if we could just send an email out to everybody, mass email, and everybody has one. And last thing I have is, TK and I also talked, we would like to see 2 cell phones purchased, one for him, one for myself, to be under the township, because us using our phones now, it opens up to too much issues. So we need one that we don't have that issue. So it's could be a simple flip phone that somebody can call us on or something of that nature.
We could probably do that then.
I like flip phone. I just said, but we would like to see phones for both of us.
I carry 2 cell phones and I hate it, so I don't wish that upon anybody, but if you want them,
Well, I don't like these. I don't actually like to have to carry two, but
yeah.
for,
I called Tracy today and asked her, since we have a phone for Tim, but she made a great point that our phones for the fire department go through AT&T, and that we have an account with them for the tablets, the person.
Yeah, I looked into it, it's gonna be about $45 to $50 a line, depending on what we put with it.
So I called Brian today and asked him, since he's our guru with that, and that's the information he got, that we can add it to that line. And you said that they would provide a phone?
Yeah,
Do they have flip phones?
I didn't go back that far, I mean,
Okay.
I don't,
I'm making a joke, yeah. I do that sometimes. If, I know that we've had phones in the past for things like that, and I don't think anybody else wanted them, but I know Derek mentioned he's getting a lot of communications on his personal phone, and if we don't get him a phone, he's changing his phone number.
very true.
I'm not opposed, I just have a question. Any other officers eligible for this, or just the chief and assistant chief at this time? Just thinking forward.
They're asking, so how do you want to address that?
Well, I believe at that time that we're going to, I'm sorry, Brian, you're not on probation anymore either, so.
I think I'm a big kid. I got adult privileges, I think.
Do you want a phone?
No.
No, he
does not.
I'll make a motion that we provide phone service to the chief and assistant chief at this time. If something else comes up in the future, we can address additional phones.
Bring it to our attention if there's a need, but
Right.
hopefully they're not getting so many calls that there is a need.
I'll make a motion, we get through the AT&T and get a phone plan for our chief and assistant chief.
I will second.
Yes.
AT&T?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, they're the same?
Laura? Yes.
AT&T is FirstNet,
Yeah.
same
Yes.
thing?
It's
Yes.
specifically for fire EMS.
Oh, I see,
Done.
yes. Thank you for clarifying that.
And they give a great fire discount.
That's all I have.
You cleaned up my list as well. Last thing in my pile though, this is, a 2022 invoice from FireCat for host testing and ladder stuff, just for your reference. It sounds like we,
I know last year, we did access to the garrison.
well, I think the problem is this, with getting all the people, staff to do it, but if he could do it in-house, even better. Just found some old things
I'll
for.
talk to him about that. I know we tried, we didn't have last year.
Perfect. Had the old invoices, thought I'd help share them to help, but that's all that I have for the fire department too. You kind of cleared off my list.
I have nothing additional.
Any other old business or new business to address today?
I have nothing.
Anybody signed up for last public commentary today?
No.
Or would anyone like to be?
Just one off the wall silly thing. I have been asked if there is a pie baking contest in the township plan.
In the county
Township.
or township?
Not that I'm aware of.
I basically told them I don't need any more jobs. I'm just thinking that maybe, they were thinking maybe the fire department was doing this or something.
They've had a
I'm
chili
thinking-
cook-off, but not.
I'm thinking they got some missing communication about the big sale for the apple.
Actually, I got a message the other day asking about the same thing.
Yeah.
If someone wants to bring pie to the meeting, we will all try it
And
and we'll judge. Now, do we want to have a second meeting this month? Because we're probably going to have a special meeting before then.
I don't think we need.
I think we were pretty productive today.
Yes.
Scott, do you have any need or Tim for a second meeting this month?
I don't think we should.
So that would have been September 23rd, so we will forego that meeting. And we will have to announce when we have the special meeting, once we get that all squared away, so we do it once and not twice. That will be advertised. And if nothing else, I will adjourn, make a motion to adjourn the meeting and pay our bills.
Second.
Yes. Lauren, yes.
Warren said, what's that?
Yeah. You can order. $80.